Hello everyone, Mondo here with my review of My Hero Academia episode 69, or episode 6, season 4, and yeah, that was a heartbreaking after ending credit. I think especially the after ending credit is the best scene again though, yeah, in this season. They always have like a 2-1 minute after ending credit, that was the best part, or best part, but was the emotional part. Very tragic, as always, with Eri-chan, and we know that she's, being rebuilt and so on. The worst, de-evolving, correcting the area, like he's killing her off and then rebuilds her body and so on, right, to get her DNA and so on, so it has so many scars and so on. And of course back to Deku and Miro being all regretful and so on. So that part was really good, right? Really good. And I mean good in a bad way, but you know what I mean. Like it's like a bad, but obviously it's good in the sense that if you wanna be sad, it's good, right? Yeah. And there was a strong scene. I also really liked when Aizawa Sensei was like, Deku, Shonen, I believe in you too, bro. It's like, yeah, fist. That was good too. That was really good too. And then we kind of saw the big tree, right? Or like Miro's also depressed and everything, Hado and Sandy. Like, Miro, you can do it, Miro, yeah. And she's like, come on, Miro, I love you, yeah. So that's all right. No recast, Red Riot. So I think that was great to see them all. The emotional part in the end, really. But otherwise, to be honest, right, and I remember when I read it, because I read it, my version now, but when I read it too, it's like this chapter or this episode, nothing much happens in a way, right? I mean, obviously, I am definitely I need action, I need the fights all the time. I mean, I watch so much, shoujo anime and so on, so like that. So I don't really think that's not really the reason why, but I feel it's just a lot of talking, and the sense of talking doesn't really mean so much. I think that's the thing, right? Because isn't like there's a lot of great drama animes, right, or more whatever romance and so on, right? I think it's my one of the anime series, of course, Savage Girls. But you also use talk all the time. This whole anime is just talking in meetings, more or less, right? not only, but half the anime is like just the girls just talking, right, like this, right? But it's really, really funny, right? Or it's like really shocking and so on. But this meeting is just very, very, stale, like, basis. We have to save girl. Yes, you're angry. Basis. it's kind of like that, yeah. So that the dialogue isn't really, it really feels like an actual boring meeting in real life, where you're like, oh man, why do we have this meeting? Everyone knows we're gonna save the girl. Everyone knows what we're gonna do, yeah. But, I mean, I've been in a lot of meetings in my life, right? And actually, I like having meetings because I'm usually the guy. I'm usually the guy standing up there like, oh, this is how we should do it. Yeah, I usually like having meetings. It's one of my hobbies, right? No, but I like it on work usually. But sometimes you have those meetings, the classic boring meeting, where someone is just like, yep, here's the figures, and I'm like, yeah, we know that. Well, we're gonna do this thing, and like, yes, we know that. Oh, we're gonna do like this worked really well, and I was like, yes, we know that. We're doing that for like 3 years now. We'll do the same thing tomorrow. Yeah, and it's like, come on. Why do we have this meeting for? Yeah, like we have classes, right? The boring meeting where nothing happens. And even though he's clearly explained to them the powers, which is important for them to know, most of the other stuff, with the bases and so on, right? I think it's very predictable. So I don't want to go into too much detail, but it's pretty obvious what's going to happen, right? And even if you see all those other heroes, I think it's cool seeing the other heroes, but at the same time, it's only like Lockhart has any more or less speaking, right? Ryoki says a few words. She's a hot dragon lady. Ninja Girl says nothing. Kurushi, she's quiet and so on. Yeah, most of them doesn't even have a line anyway. And I think the problem for me at least is that we know, and this is not from Harry the manga. I think it's very predictable. So I think I can say this thing because it's so predictable that we know that based on the narration, right? Who's gonna find Eri? Who's gonna get into the actual Yakuza base where they have the big values are just gonna be like Deku, Mirio, and probably the other characters are kind of like close to them, right? Like yes, like probably, and then a few of the other heroes there. I mean, yes, there are like 20-30 heroes there, so because a few of them is gonna have some screen time and so on. But it's also very like predictable that so it's like 20 new heroes, maybe like 4 of them is gonna do, maybe 3 of them is gonna have be important for the actual coming battle, right? Something like that. And I feel that's what the episode is kind of like, because you know that, oh, here's all the bases and so on, right? Here's all of these things and so on, but you're pretty much sure that, well, that probably won't matter at all, actually. When they actually get to it, it probably won't matter though. I think that's kind of like, I think it's very obvious. Maybe, yeah, like, I mean, let's say in the spoilers now, right? I just think this is how it is in the storyline. It's like, you know, that's gonna be what's gonna go down. It's still gonna be focused on Ryu and Deku, right? Regardless, yeah. So in that sense, I mean, it's similar to a real meeting where someone is like, this is what we're doing, let's do more of that, because it's great, right? And it's the same thing here, like, oh, let's do more of this thing, you know, Deku's the main character, let's follow him more. And that's what I mean. So all the other characters get this kind of ideas, the world building, but they don't have much screen time, and also it's not really funny or exciting, it's just kind of scary. The Eri part, of course, is great. So the first like 8 or so minutes in the episode, it's kind of like nothing, and then we get the Eri part, it's like, whoa, Eri, holy shit! And then it's back to like, and then it's like, my emotional part. So I feel like 2 great scenes right in the middle there, and in the end, and in between that, I do think the episode is kind of like, yeah. And you probably could skip that part, you would have the exact same experience getting on to later. As long as you have the Eri part, right? The Eri part and the emotional part in the end. So as you have those 2 parts, and I also when I say Eri part in the middle, I also mean like, you know, Red Right also get emotional, Fat Gums get emotional in the middle there, right? So if you have those 2 scenes together, then you have the episode really. Everything else in between is just kind of like seeing them a little scrounging, but not really that much, right? So it's, yeah. I think I want to let kind of sense. The episode is like it's okay. I think the episode is okay, but I think it's the weakest episode. It reveals the thing with Eri, which is good. It explains the difference between her and Aizawa. He can't really like remove the parts. She's more like regressing. She's like de-evolving them, right? But otherwise, you know, it's just kind of like the emotional bit. It's clearly the strongest part. It could also be this sense though, if I really analytic here. The emotional part of the ending and so on of Eri-chan, that's really, really strong. So it's very, very different than the other parts. That could be a thing too, I suppose. If I'm gonna be honest here, those 2 parts are so much standing out that the other part is kind of like, kind of mad. But those 2 are so strong, the other parts are like, oh yeah, they don't really. But definitely have, regardless of how the meeting room, how good that is, the other 2 parts, of course, the main meeting room thing with Eri and the ending after that, is very, very spiking, right? So regardless of the quality before, if the quality is here, it spikes, right? The quality is here, it spikes. So no matter how you see it, it's like 2 spikes, right? 2 very, very big spikes. So they're very noticeable different in the storyline, I think. But anyway, that's the review, guys. Hope you liked it, even though it's a little negative I feel. But I do feel this is the weakest episode of the season, compared to like last episode, which is great all the way through, I think. This one here is a little bit more like, yeah, we get the report, and then it's like, I mean, you basically show me those parts. That's my take on it. But I don't think it's like a bad episode. I think it's kind of like, just kind of okay. So anyway, see you guys and have a great day.